News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
The theme, we will do better, and we are doing better. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It's Thursday, April 23rd, 2015. Sun's just up, but we have a mostly clear sky, a few high, thin clouds, 29 degrees in Missoula. And good morning, everyone. This is Montana Morning, and our newscast this morning sponsored by Boot Barn, where they celebrate everyday heroes who work hard for their families. Big savings on work apparel and boots in South Crossing. This morning's top story, we will do better. That was the theme yesterday as Missoula County Attorney Kirsten Pabst delivered an address to the press in the Missoula County Courthouse, flanked by her staff of prosecutors. Pabst began her address by acknowledging the release of John Krakauer's book, Missoula, Rape and the Justice System in a College Town.
The author wrote on the assumption that a prosecutor's job is to blindly seek convictions. In reality, our job is to seek the truth and to do justice, which requires balance, open, and a communicative approach.
Pabst described her own philosophy on prosecuting sexual assault cases.
United States Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor said, "It's not the heart that compels conclusions in cases, it's the law. My judicial philosophy is fidelity to the law. I have faith in the process of the law, and if it's carried out fairly, I can live with the results, whatever they may be."
Despite the increased negative attention the book has brought upon Missoula, Pabst said the community has inspired her to continue to improve her office.
Missoula is an independent, self-thinking, very capable town, very capable of making our own decisions and well-equipped to saying, we will do better. I want to be part of that progress.
She wrapped up her address by detailing the many improvements made within her office to help deal with sexual assault victims, such as special advocates and counselors. A related story, U of M President Royce Engstrom's reaction to the John Krakauer book about rape and justice system in a college town primarily focused on the institution's efforts over the past 3 years to improve its efforts at dealing with the problem.
I want to talk, though, about really the next chapter, the chapter that wasn't written about in the book, and that is all of the hard work that people have been doing in our community, on our campus, to address the issue of sexual assault.
Engstrom praised the PETSA program, which is an acronym for Personal Empowerment Through Self-Awareness, that was instituted 3 years ago.
As of today, something like 24,000 students have successfully completed this tutorial on sexual assault. So again, education is at the core of who we are in terms of trying to prevent sexual assault.
All students are required to receive a score of 100% on the online PETSA exam before being allowed to register for classes. Engstrom also praised the extra training that faculty, staff, and the University Police Department have gone through in cooperation with the agreement entered into with the Department of Education. A former employee of a chemical dependency and mental health treatment center for teens in Missoula has denied raping a 13-year-old patient. The Missoulian reports 23-year-old Justin Griffith pleaded not guilty to sexual intercourse without consent during a hearing before District Judge Robert L. Dusty Deshaw yesterday. Court records say Griffith acknowledged having been in an intimate relationship with the girl over a weekend in March. U of M student had been working the night shift as clinical care worker at Western Montana Addiction Services Teen Recovery Center. Deshaw allowed Griffith to remain free on pretrial supervision. A state judge in Great Falls declared, quote, "This stinks," end quote, before handing down a probationary sentence to a man who pleaded guilty to sexually assaulting a 6-year-old girl. The Great Falls Tribune reports District Judge Dirk Sandifer sentenced 51-year-old Chris Anthony Bear Monday to 15 years under the supervision of the Department of Corrections with all the time suspended. Bear pleaded guilty in February to sexual assault as part of a deal that called for the dismissal of a charge of sexual intercourse without consent, along with a witness tampering charge. Court records say the family sought the plea deal to spare the child from having to testify. Lawsuits against the CSKT water compact hit both the Montana Supreme Court and the District Court in Polson on Monday, seeking to stop the bill with a restraining order before Governor Steve Bullock has a chance to sign it. The suit was filed on behalf of the Flathead Joint Board of Control, but it was heralded by Montana Speaker of the House Austin Knudsen on Talkback yesterday.
The bill grants immunity to the state and also to the new board that's being set up, immunity from suit. By our state constitution, that requires a two-thirds vote from the legislature, and that did not happen here. I put that on the record in the House floor. I put that on the record in the Rules Committee. I basically told people that this was what was going to happen. You're going to get sued for violating the Constitution.
Tim Orr is one of the irrigators represented by the Flathead Board of Control. He claims his access to water will be reduced by half under the compact and says the lack of a two-thirds vote is an example of government overreach.
That Constitution, it was designed to protect the people from a rogue government, and this deal that happened there last Saturday was pretty close to being rogue. When they go against the two-third vote and go to a simple majority to pass something, when it says it right in the Constitution, that tells you that something's not right.
Yesterday, the Montana Attorney General's office issued a motion asking judges to deny the restraining order. The motion describes the irrigator's claims as, quote, frivolous, purely political, and non-justifiable, end quote. It also claims if a court were to seriously consider the motion that it would, quote, wreak havoc, end quote, in the legislative process. Missoula County School District 1 Superintendent Alex Apostle breathed a sigh of relief on Tuesday after Senate Bill 107 failed on a vote in the House. The bill would have allowed Hellgate Elementary to expand into a high school. It likely would have made a large bond request from the school district a harder sell.
Well, it really clears the way for us in terms of our bond issue, in terms of what we envision the school district becoming in relation to the bond. But I really believe it was the rational and logical decision, at least at this point, to not allow 107 to pass.
Apostle believes the bill would have hurt public education.
In terms of educating our children, I don't think it made any sense whatsoever. I just feel that the bill would have been detrimental to many, many different people, taxpayers, students, parents. It was not well thought out.
Those in support of Senate Bill 107 argued it would give students and families more choice in education. And a reported grass fire near on Duncan Drive up the Rattlesnake was reported Tuesday at about 6 p.m. Fire Marshal Gordy Hughes said the cause of the fire was a downed power line.
A cross arm on a high-tension power line had failed, dropping one leg of the power to the ground, igniting a grass fire. What was reported was approximately a half an acre, and I think the only reason why that it grew to that size was that crews were suspect that the line was still energized.
Hughes says anytime you see a downed power line, call 911. Immediately, no one was injured. Newstalk time is 6:12.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Clear to partly cloudy skies today with our high temperatures in the mid-60s. An isolated shower is possible this evening. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with our lows in the mid-30s. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.